What is the SF-312? Inquiring minds want to know. Hi, this is Lindy Kaiser with clearancejobs.com. I got that question last week asking what the difference was between the SF-86 or SF-85 or SF-85P and the SF-312. You will know the difference when you see them, is what I told that individual, because the SF forms that we generally talk about over at clearancejobs.com are the standard forms used to grant eligibility to access classified information. On the other side of that form, however, you do have that SF-312, which is a non-disclosure agreement that you sign with the federal government after you are granted access to classified information. It says, hey, for the duration of your entire life, you will not disclose any of the classified information that you became aware of as an individual who was eligible to see that. Kind of refers to basically what your need to know is. Now you have a need to know, you're going to know some stuff, but you cannot disclose that stuff. OD&I has provided some clarification even around what that entails in terms of having to get pre-approval for maybe books that you write, even based on your position. But the gist of the SF-312 is saying, hey, if I'm granted access to classified information, I will not disclose that, again, for the duration of my life. If I do, I will come under pretty harsh potential civil and criminal penalties for doing so. So again, the moral of the story is you don't just have eligibility, you don't just have that brief time where you have to keep classified information safe. For the duration of the remainder of your life, you are required to keep that information safe. So whatever you store in your brain, in your memory bank, if an elephant never forgets and you never forget, you've got to keep that classified information up there. You cannot disclose the information that you were granted access to or awareness of through your national security position. Again, it's kind of one of those catch-22s that catches clearance holders. It's worth noting and being aware of, because we see, time and again, information will get leaked or disclosed, a place like WikiLeaks or an online news source. If you know that from a classified standpoint, to verify, again, maybe to speak before the press or verify something, you could come against some penalties for doing that. So in general, if it's classified, it's classified. And if you have any questions about it, certainly talk to your security officer. Included within that SF-312 is some specific verbiage related to your security officer and what they should be training you on. So you should, as a part of signing that form, and again, having somebody witness the signature on that form, be getting some initial training, some security training about what your responsibility is, so that you know what is classified information, what are the classification markers that relate to your position, what kind of or types of classified information could you come across. So you shouldn't just sign the form and then have no clue what you're coming up against. Again, somebody in your security office should be coming alongside you and educating you on that process. While I have you, NDAs are actually a topic I've gotten a few questions about, so I might do a follow-on about that, but they can come up in other aspects of your employment or personnel history, not even related to the security clearance process. And I've had a few folks ask me, hey, if I signed an NDA related to something, do I still have to disclose that on the SF-86? Again, we're talking SF-312 here, which is the classification form. We're talking SF-86 would be the application process. The short answer is yes. Even a separate NDA that you've signed would not preclude you from having to be honest on that SF-86 form. So again, NDAs can come up in other capacities. The SF-312 that we're talking about here is very specific to eligibility to access classified information and the protections around that. But if you have at any point in your career signed a previous or a different NDA for anything, that doesn't prevent you from disclosing that information on your SF-86. But if it's a specific situation for you, you might want to contact an attorney, an employment law attorney, or someone else. But again, in general, you don't have the excuse of not being honest on that form because you had signed another NDA for it. So again, fun topics here over at clearancejobs.com. We never cease to find new topics to talk about. But if you have questions about the SF-312, the SF-86, the SF-85, the SF-85P, the upcoming PBQ, or anything else, visit us over at clearancejobs.com or shoot me an email and I would love to hear from you. Bye.